Good afternoon. It's certainly warm here in Brackley. So I've just had another cold shower. Not sure it did me any good actually, but never mind. We will get there. So welcome to my afternoon Facebook Live. This is Tuesday, the 11th of August. Thank you so much for joining me if you're joining me live. If you're joining me on catch up, then thank you. Obviously you won't be able to comment and receive live responses, but you're welcome to comment and I'll keep an eye on it and get back to you later. Hi Molly, hi Jeanette, hi Katie. So, yesterday, it was only yesterday, we featured this lovely stamp set called Flowering Blooms, and I used this main image for the cards. I will show you the cards. We did this one here, actually did the yellow one live in Mango Melody, and then this one here slightly stepped up with an embossed background using Highland Heather, and then added the ribbon and some gems. The sentiments in both of those cases come from the same stamp set. So today I thought I would use this image here for something different. Hi Babsy. And I also took inspiration from this card. Now this card is one from our class in a box for this month, and it features these lovely stitched leaves. So if you're joining in my class in a box, you'll get a whole stack of these stitched leaves in different colours, and all of the different shapes in each of the colours. But it also features this lovely stitched background. So I'm not going to be using that, but what I wanted to do was use the stitched background at the top of my card, just to see what effect it had. You could also use it at the bottom, but my plan is to have the stitches coming down from the top and then stamp the flowers across the bottom. That is my plan. And I've gone for Poppy Parade today, just to be something completely different. So my new die cutting and embossing machine has arrived, and I'm going to be using that just to do this portion at the top. I will feature it in more detail later, but for this afternoon we're just doing a straightforward card just with a little bit of embossing. So let me get cracking. So what I'm going to start with is I'm going to actually stamp my sentiment across the top, and then I'm going to run it through the die cutting machine, because I think if I die cut these stitches first, when I come to stamp my sentiment, it will get it'll be broken up because it won't stamp in the gaps. And this die doesn't actually cut anything out, it just pushes through to get this really pretty effect. So I'm going to start by stamping that. Hi Laura. And for the class in a box, you can either choose the plaid papers or the regals, and then you'll get the relevant colours to go with those. So I'm going to stamp this fairly high up, like so, and that's in Early Espresso. There we go. Let me just wipe that down. Okay, just going to pop this away for a minute, and let me get my new cutting machine. So this is the new, hi Jeanette, Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Now I appreciate that this is right in the way of the camera, but you can see relative to the large one, what a small space it takes on your desk. And that's because these platforms at the side, front and back, fold up. So if you are storing it, if it's not out all the time, then it's much easier to store because you haven't got the open platform. When you want to come and use it, you'll just fold these 1, 2 down, and you hear it click. It's really stable. Let's have it straight, I think, though. Okay, so this is the platform where the plates go in, and you've obviously got the handle here on the right hand side. And if you can see that, yes, you can just about see that. Now it replaces our previous Big Shot die cutting machine that we stopped a good 18 months ago, and it's similar in that it has the plates and everything. Now I'm not going to do a full-blown demonstration of this because of the time today, but we have all of the instructions are written on the plates, and now the plates are numbered. So we have number 1, 2, and in this case 2 3s, these cutting pads. Now if you've got the old Big Shot machine that we had, the new cutting plates will fit the old machines. So if you do need to replace your plates, you can use these ones. Okay. One of the things I like about it is that the area you're working on sort of channels everything in, whereas before on the Big Shot you had to sort of get all nice and tidy before you started rolling it through. So all I'm going to do is put my base plate on and my cutting plate. This is the die that I'm going to use that's got that lovely stitching. And I'm sorry that is really close. I should really perhaps move my camera up, but a bit loath to do that in case I can't get it back again in the right place. So this is my card I'm going to do the die through, and these go right to the edge like so. So I'm going to have it just off the edge because I don't want to lose too much of the stitching, if you can see that. And then I'm just using the edge of the die to line it up. And as always with any die cutting machine, if you can have it going through at an angle rather than the flat side of the whole die, it's much kinder to your cutting machine, much better on the pressure and on the plates. Okay, so I'm just going to pop this one on top, hold it down, and then run it through. I'm just holding on to the top, simple as that. Okay, let's take that out of the way. So to fold up the die cutting machine, when you finish with it, literally you can fold that one and then pick it up by the handle. If you've got space to leave it out, of course you can leave it out the whole time. Depends on how much space you have in your craft room. Okay, so let's peel this away, and you can see there's my stitching, and it did work. The stamping obviously it's got the stitching running through it, but it hasn't broken up the text. But if you can see that. Okay, so that is the die. Really useful die. This comes with the stitched leaves dies that do all of that set of leaves here, and it does all the stitching as well if you want it to. So there's a die for the stitching and a die for cutting out the leaves. So if you don't want it with the stitching, just cut out with the outside. Okay, let me pop that away. Hi Abby. So what I'm going to do is stamp the other flower, which is this one here, this set of flowers, and I'm going to do a little bit of masking because what I want to do is sort of have them scattered all the way over there. So I'm going to stamp them early espresso, and I'm also going to stamp some leaves. So it has this set of leaves here. I'm going to stamp those in Granny Apple Green. Okay, let's have these to one side. So I have created some masks already by stamping onto a post-it note, and then I fussy cut these with my scissors. Now there are dies for this stamp set as well, so but I've just cut these ones manually. So that's the large leaf, large flower, and then these are the small ones. So just to nip back to the new die cutting machine, so demonstrators can buy them throughout August, but they'll be available for any of my customers from September. So if you can't wait that long, you're welcome to join as a demonstrator, and you can get your die cutting machine as part of your starter kit and save some money at the same time. Okay, so I'm inking up this flower. Now I'm just being wary because this stalk is short of the other one, and I don't really want it hanging in the air. Okay, this is nice if you're putting it in a vase or something. So what I'm going to do is just position this so the stalk goes just off the bottom. Okay, going to cover these up. So that's that one there. And when you're cutting these up, you just want to cut inside of the lines so that you can just see the edges of the flower underneath. Whew. It's warming up here, folks. I think I'm going to come right down for this one, like so, and I'm going to add some green for the leaves in, so I'm just going to cover these up as well. So I cut 3 sets of these at the same time, so I just did 3 post-it notes all together. So these are my leaves here, so I'm just going to pop some in, and I'm not worrying that I've got brown stalks for some of the flowers and then green stalks for the leaves, because it's just an overall effect I'm looking for. Okay, so let's pop that one in there. Okay, let's add, oops, not in green, let's add another one in espresso. And I want them to look like either a sort of field or a full bunch, really. And let's move this over here. Here. So this ink is drying very quickly, especially in this heat. So I'm not worrying about, you know, it's not going to run or bleed or anything. Like so. Let's add on here so I've got a difference in height. Hopefully this will look alright when I've finished it. Let's just add in another leaf there. Okay, just moving this one over. Cover that one up. Like so. Add some more leaves, and what I should have done was just added a few that I'd stamped off. There we go. And then finally have a look. So I stamped my leaf, and what I should have done was do my flower first before I added that leaf in, but because I've actually got Poppy Parade, I think I'll be able to cover it up. So let me just put a leaf in on that side, and then we're good to do some colouring, hopefully. One in here. Hi Carol. Hi Utah. Oh, thank you for watching me Utah on your day off. So I'm just going to cover the rest of this because I just want a bit of foliage at the top here. Stamp that off like so. Right, there we have it. So we've got all our flowers down here, and say one error there where I could have covered it up. I'd stamped it before I'd done the other colouring, and I think I'm just going to put a little bit of green in there. Stamp it off a couple of times, just pop it in. Okay, take those out of the way. So keep those with the stamp set ready for next time. No, Utah, although it does look a bit like it, it's this one here. Flowering blooms. So these were our other ones. We used the other image yesterday with this one here, but I decided today to use this one like so. So the stitching at the top is from the die that goes with the stitched leaves. Now there's only a little bit of green to do actually, which is these little leaves here. So I'm just going to pick those out before I do the flowers. That's the main ones that I can see. And then for the flowers, I've got Light and Dark Poppy Parade, because I'm going to pop this onto a Poppy Parade card. So this is light, this is dark, so I'm just going to use the dark in the centres. As I say, a lot of this detail is already done, so you don't actually have to do much colouring in terms of blending, because the dark areas will make it look dark anyway, if that makes any sense. So I'm just going to hover around those a little bit, and then I'm going to use the light Poppy Parade just to go over the rest. Obviously you could do this multiple colours, you don't have to do it single colour. I was just thinking, as I'd done yellows and purples and had a pink sample, then a red would be a good addition. I think I'll have to do blue tomorrow. Okay, so just a little bit of dark colour in there, and then this is my light one, and because it's a bigger area I'm using the brush tip. Now if I feel that I want a little bit more shading, I can go back in. Leaving a few little bits of white as well. So this is my Scribble Shading, which is really a quick and easy version of colouring in, because you literally just scribble it over. Let the stamp do the work. Sure. I'm just going to bring that up a little bit. Looking at the screen, this looks like it's sort of got a bit of double vision going on. Only problem with card making this heat is your hands get so sticky. Sticks to everything. So I think I am going to add a little more depth in there. I wonder who's got a fan next to them. I have to say I do have a fan that has ice blocks to go into it. The ice blocks are currently in my freezer, so I shall enjoy those. I've got to nip out shortly, so I shall enjoy those when I get back. Have a nice cold drink. And this evening, for those of you that are on my team, we have a fun team meeting at 7 o'clock on Zoom. So I hope I'll see some of you there. There we go. Quite a different look. Let's blend those in a little bit. So you can spend a lot more time doing the colouring in if you would like. And obviously you could do these in multiple colours, and they do look a bit like peonies in here, don't they? That's on my list to do. I have the peony set and the peony dies, so that is on my list to do. There we go. Let's put the right top back on. Dark. Right. Okay. Oh, you're not allowed to have fans on in surgery? Oh, I suppose not. Oh. Oh no, because it moves everything around, doesn't it? So it's okay in your own environment. So this is the Poppy Parade backing. And I'm looking for my seal, but I can't see it. So I'm going to use some wet glue. Now, one thing you do have to be careful of with this stitching is not to cover it too much in glue, because it does create little holes, obviously, in the paper. And if you've gone mad with your glue, then it can come through the edges. So just a note of caution. So this is going to go onto my Poppy Parade backing. There we go. And then it's going to go onto a white card and envelope. So it looks quite different to the other ones, doesn't it, with that flower on it. There we go. And there we have it. Let's fold that over. Let's find a bone folder. There it is. Fold that one over. And I use the bone folder on the back of the card, just in case just to make sure you don't get any marks on it. And then I could add in some little gems to that. And what would look nice are our red ones that we use, that we have for Christmas. I don't have those to hand, but I have some plain clear ones that I think could do the job. Let's see if I've got anything else more suitable. Definitely not a snowflake kind of day. Well, that's what we wish it was. Ah, perfect. So I'm just going to use some of these little small ones, and I could add them at the ends of those to look like little droplets, but I think I'm just going to dot them around. like so. There we go. And obviously we could stamp, oh pleasure Yuta, we could stamp on the inside as well and decorate that. So let me show you yesterday's. So this is using the other flower from Flowering Blooms, so just this one here. What I could also do is just ink the top bit up and have some more tucked in here. I used our stitched die to do that section at the top, and then I've just coloured in with blends pens. No, it's quite difficult, isn't it? I tend to have them in 3s or 5s and then close to something and then separate, but it's just trial and error really. So here's one from yesterday. This is Mango Melody, and I've got a bit of ink on it, so I used the little splats from Forever Fern for that one. This was the clean version of that, and then this was the Highland Heather version. So quite different looks from the same stamp set. There we go. It's called Flowering Blooms. It's £20. It does have a set of matching dies that cut out these flowers, so they really are stunning, but I went just for the stamp set. Very often I'll start with the stamp set, love it so much that I then buy the dies. Hey ho. Okay, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you liked the little preview of the new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I will feature that a little bit more in my live tomorrow morning. And it's all hot, so I hope you can go and get yourselves a nice cold drink or some ice or ice cream even, and enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Thank you so much for joining me today. And if you want more information about any of the products I've used, you can just message me on Facebook here or send me an email, jenny@geminicrafts.co.uk. Thank you so much everybody. Enjoy your afternoon, stay safe, look after each other, look after your loved ones, and I hope you can keep crafting. Thank you. Bye bye.